Analogy time. There's a guy that owns a wedding banquet center, and to continue getting referrals, his business needs to operate in a certain timeline. There's a time to set up the wedding, there's a time to have the wedding party, and there is a time to break down and clean up from all the fun. If anything happens in the wrong order, then it will be a mess, and he will probably have very unsatisfied customers and not get referrals. And so let's say that he has a particular wedding that happens, and so he gets the workers to come in and prepare the tablecloths and the glasses of water and the food and the DJ booth and the gift table and lighting, whatever else. And the wedding comes in and they have this amazing party, and it's a mess as to be expected. And they leave and the workers come in to start cleaning. And then all of a sudden, someone comes in and they're like, the next wedding is already here. Then the workers scramble because this guy's a business owner and he wants to have the wedding, and he had promised them probably this wedding. And so what does he do with all the stuff? He shoves it in closets and he cleans up as much as he can, and then he allows that wedding party to come in and makes do with the resources that he has. Now, maybe if that happens as a one-off and generally things are pretty clean and he's got some spare food in the back so he can whip stuff together, it's no big deal. But if this happened day after day after day for weeks and months, it would end up being a pretty cruddy place, and he would run out of closet space to put all of that junk. Because he's so busy, he never actually gets to get that junk out of the closets and really do a deep cleaning. So here's the analogy. Your body's the same way, and you are a business owner of your body. I know that sounds so corny, but just bear with me. According to time-restricted eating and according to the circadian theory of health that I talked about that one night at my office and that I referenced Sachin Panda's Circadian Code book, they took a group of mice that had the same parent. They split them into two different groups. One group of mice could eat whenever they wanted, and the other group of mice could only eat in a 10-hour window. And they got to eat the same fatty food, the same amount, exactly everything. The mice that were able to eat whenever they wanted were obese and unhealthy and had all sorts of sicknesses and didn't perform as well. And the other group of mice were lean and healthy and performed well, and they didn't have diseases, even though they were eating the exact same fatty food. And so what they discovered was that our organs have a 24-hour clock that they follow, and there is a time for, here's the analogy, a time for eating the food and a time for digesting it, and then a time for resting and repairing. So really how it should happen is you should wake up, and then an hour after you wake up, you should eat somewhere within that hour, and then you should start a 10-hour clock and only eat within those 10 hours. And then after those 10 hours, if you start eating at 7, you stop eating at 5. If you start eating at 8, you stop eating at 6, 9, 7, etc. And so you stop, and then your gut starts doing all of the cleanup work. And so they're cleaning up after the wedding party. Your gut lining is being restored and replaced from the battery of acid that's gone through all day. Your liver's finishing detoxifying. Your blood vessels are being scanned for any errors. As you are sleeping, your brain is consolidating your memories and your learning experiences from the day. And so there's a lot that goes on, actually more that goes on in your body and your brain outside of your eating hours than inside of them. It's more dire than you realize for you to have a late night snack, because that is as if you are introducing a new wedding party while workers are coming in and they're just trying to clean. And your body will do exactly what that business owner did. It will shove all of the toxins that it didn't get to clear, and all the repair work that it should have done, and all the fat that it had stored to burn as energy to restore your organ linings and everything else. And it will just shove it all away and allow that new food to come in, and it'll process it. And if you do that for days and days and days, this is why you have unnecessary weight gain and all sorts of mental and physical disorders. And so with these mice, the ones that they could eat whenever they wanted, they did another experiment and they put them on a 10-hour feeding schedule after they had already given them whenever they wanted. And they went back to being lean and healthy, and they weren't diseased anymore. And so it's reversible for you too. You can just start, even today or tomorrow, since it's late right now, initiate a 10-hour time restricted eating schedule and do it for a couple weeks and see how you feel, because it's pretty amazing. And things like sleep and learning issues and things as serious as cancer and autoimmune diseases and obesity and diabetes radically change. So try it for yourself. See you later.